You smell coffee, just for a second. You're walking through a shopping mall and someone walks past carrying a cup and the scent hits you. And suddenly you're not in the mall anymore. You're 7 years old. Saturday morning. Your grandfather's kitchen. The way the light came through the window. The sound his voice made when he laughed. The exact texture of the chair you sat in. It all floods back at once, so vivid and so complete that for a moment you can't remember which time period you're actually living in. Then it passes. The smell fades. You're back in the mall. And you're left wondering, how did your brain just do that? Here's what we think happens. Your brain stores memories like files in a filing cabinet. You pull one out, you look at it, you put it back. Simple, organized. But that's not how memory works at all. Your brain stores memories as a web of neural connections. And one of the strongest connections your brain ever makes is between a smell and an emotional experience. In 1989, psychologist James Ridley at Duke University ran an experiment that changed how we think about smell and memory forever. He had volunteers smell a series of odours while looking at pictures. Nothing complicated, just smells and images. Later, he tested them. When he showed them the pictures again with no smell present, they remembered about 50% of them. When he let them smell the same odour while looking at the picture, they remembered about 65%. But here's the part that matters. When he just played them the smell, no picture, no visual cue, nothing. Suddenly they remembered 65% of the images. Not from the image, from the smell alone. Your sense of smell is the only sensory system wired directly to your hippocampus and amygdala. Those are the parts of your brain responsible for memory and emotion. When you see something, the signal travels through your thalamus first. It gets filtered, organized, categorized. When you hear something, same process. Your brain processes it, interprets it, stores it, but smell bypasses all of that. A smell molecule enters your nose. It binds to receptor cells in your olfactory bulb, and that signal shoots straight to your hippocampus and amygdala with zero filter, no interpretation, no processing, just raw sensory data hitting the part of your brain that decides what matters and how you feel about it. This is why smell memories are different. They're older, they're more primal, they're less about facts and more about feeling. In 2015, neuroscientist Deborah Gusnard at Washington University ran brain imaging studies on people exposed to smells from their past. The scans showed something remarkable. When someone smelled something connected to an old memory, the amygdala lit up. That's emotion. Then the hippocampus lit up. That's memory consolidation. But something else happened too. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic, reasoning, time sense. It went quiet. For a moment, you're not thinking about the memory. You're not remembering it. You're living it. Your brain isn't retrieving a file from storage. It's reconstructing the moment itself. The sounds, the light, the texture, all of it assembled from pieces your conscious mind doesn't even know it recorded. And here's what's fascinating. This is why smell memories are so vivid but also so unreliable. When you smell that coffee in the mall, your brain is pulling fragments from dozens of different Saturday mornings with your grandfather. It's blending them together. It's filling in gaps with guesses. Some of what you're remembering is real. Some of it your brain invented to make the story coherent. But it feels real. It feels like you're actually there. This is called the Proust effect, named after Marcel Proust, a French writer who wrote about eating a Madeleine cake and being transported back to his childhood through taste and smell. For a century, people thought that was just beautiful writing, a metaphor, but brain science proved it's literally what happens inside your head. Your sense of smell is also connected to your olfactory memory system, which operates on a completely different timescale than your other memories. You can forget a conversation you had yesterday, but you can smell a perfume you haven't encountered in 20 years and instantly remember who wore it, what they were wearing, what the room smelled like, what you were worried about that day. Why? Because smells didn't evolve to be catalogued and filed away. They evolved to trigger immediate emotional responses. In the ancient world, your ancestors couldn't afford to think carefully about a smell. Smell meant something was there, danger or food or a predator or a mate. The response had to be instant, had to be emotional, had to be recorded deeply because your survival might depend on recognizing that smell again. So your brain wired smell directly to your amygdala and hippocampus, bypassing thought entirely. And that system still lives inside you, right now, unchanged, for hundreds of thousands of years. This is why a smell can move you to tears when a photograph can't. Why a scent can make you homesick for a place you consciously hated. Why you can smell rain on concrete and suddenly remember a person you haven't thought about in years. Your brain isn't just remembering them, it's reconstructing the neurochemical state you were in when that smell first mattered. It's resurrecting the version of you that existed in that moment. And here's the part that gets strange. Every time you smell that coffee again, your brain doesn't pull up the same memory. It reconstructs a slightly different version because your brain has changed. You've changed. So the memory shifts a little, gets reshaped, gets rewritten. The coffee smell from when you were 7 isn't the same memory anymore. It's been reconstructed dozens of times, mixed with other coffees, other people, other versions of that kitchen. Your grandfather's face in that memory might not be accurate anymore. Your brain might have smoothed it or filled in gaps with other faces. So in a very real way, every time you smell something that triggers an old memory, you're not actually remembering the past, you're creating it. You're building it again from fragments and feelings, and the person you are right now, the past you lived, is gone. What remains is this incredible power your brain has to reconstruct something that feels real enough to move you to tears. The mall disappears, the coffee fades, you're back in your body in your actual time. But you're different now. You've been changed by a ghost of a memory you can never fully trust but can never quite doubt. And somewhere in your house there's probably a candle or a perfume or an old piece of clothing that could trigger it all again. Your brain is still wired to remember what mattered most, even if it has to invent the details to do it. If you want to see more videos like this, kindly hit the subscribe button, like, comment and share. See you in the next one.